All of the Northland is in an air quality alert. You heard Adam talking about it a couple of minutes ago. And for those with chronic conditions like asthma or COPD, the situation could be dangerous.
If you're noticing people that normally would have a good social conversation, they're now kind of seeming disoriented. If the cough is significant enough that people aren't able to catch their breath, certainly, if there's any things that they're coughing up that may be either black or, bloody.
Health experts are advising people to stay indoors if possible and limit physical activity outside.